The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Well, hello again, everyone, and welcome to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network. My name is Guy Newcomb, the scoreboard guy, alongside here for the next few minutes here as we get to track down some of the football games that went on last night. We'll give you those scores, talk a little bit about some volleyball going on up in St. Louis. We have our Chef Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week segment as well. Before we get started, I want to remind you, hey, go to our Facebook page and like us on Facebook, go to our YouTube page and subscribe, and you'll be made aware of everything that we've got coming up. But as I mentioned, coming up today on the show, I have Chef Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week from Bolivar High School, Megan Howard. Her and her coach will be with us. We recorded this earlier today because they are actually playing up at the Rockwood Classic Girls Volleyball Invitational in St. Louis in the Rockwood School District, along with 27 other teams, including all four of the Final Four teams from Class 5 and all four of the Final Four teams from Class 4 from a year ago, and actually seven of the eight other final participants as well. And I apologize if my audio is a little bit.
You can text me or just go to our chat and see if you can kind of help me figure this out, because right now I have no idea what I sound like, but I'm pretty sure you can hear me. So we digress and we'll move on. First, we'll run just through some football games that went on last night. As Central Park Hills, they go to 3-0 with a double overtime win over Fredericktown, 42-34. Hazelwood West defeats Melville 38-25, and Burlington, Kansas over Miller High School 33-30. Coming up tonight, Principia with Whitfield will be at Afton. Drexel is at Appleton City. These are all football games tonight. Stockton is at Ash Grove. Mountain Grove is at Ava. Normandy is at Belleville West. Braytown is at Belton. Osage is at Blair Oaks. Saw some folks already lining up online for that one at a tailgate. Ray-Pec is at Blue Springs. Lee Summit is at Blue Springs South. Lee Summit at Blue Springs South. Branson is here in Bolivar. Wright City is at Bowling Green. Paris is at Bramer. Fairgrove is at Buffalo. Willow Springs at Cabool. Smith Cotton is at Camdenton. St. Pius X out of Kansas City is at Cameron. Hickman is at Capital City. Marshfield is at Carl Junction as Marshfield looks to go 3-0. Carlisle, Illinois is at Caruthersville. Sykeston is at Central Cape Girardeau. Logan Rogersville is at Springfield Central. Both teams there looking for their first win of the season. Grandview is at Central St. Joseph. CBC is at Chaminade. Malden is at Charleston. Centralia at Clark County. Summit Christian at Clinton. Bayless is at Crystal City. Grandview out of Hillsboro is at Cuba. Central New Madrid is at Dexter. Winnetonka is at East Kansas City. Cassville at East Newton. Chaffee at East Prairie. Jackson is at Edwardsville, Illinois. Hazelwood Central is at Eureka. North Kansas City is Excelsior Springs. Duchesne is at Father Tolton. Hollister is at Forsyth. Platte County is at Fort Osage. Cardinal Ritter is at Francis Howe. Vianney is at Francis Howe Central. U-City is at Fort Zumwalt East. St. Charles is at Zumwalt South. Zumwalt North is at Zumwalt West. Clayton's at Gateway. Boonville at Hallsville. Carthage is at Glendale. Santa Fe is at Hardin. Center is at Harrisonville. St. Michael the Archangel's at Hayden Catholic. McClure's at Hazelwood East. Battle is at Helias Catholic. Jefferson is at Herculaneum. Brookfield's at Highland. West Plains at Hillcrest. Washington is at Hillsboro. Adrian is at Holden. Oric at Keatsville. Webb City at Kickapoo. Savannah at Kirksville. Bishop LeBlond at Knox County. Lindbergh at Ladue. Benton is at Lafayette St. Joe. Kirkwood at Lafayette Wildwood. Tipton is at Lamar. East Buchanan is at Lawson. Neosho is at Lebanon. South Callaway at Lexington. Raytown South at Liberty. Thayer is at Liberty Mountain View. Lee Summit West is at Liberty North. Crest Ridge is at Lincoln. Shawnee Mission West is at Lincoln College Prep. Windsor at Lynn. Jasper at Lockwood. Carrollton at Lone Jack. John Burroughs at Lutheran North. Soldan is at Lutheran St. Charles. Harrison at South Harrison at Marceline. 2 undefeated teams there. Skyline's at Marionville. Chillicothe's at Maryville. Riverview Gardens at Mascoutah, Illinois. Milan is at Maysville. Parkway West at McClure North. Centralia is at Mid-Buchanan. Russellville is at Cass Midway. Lee Summit North is at Mill Valley, Kansas. Veritas Christian High School is at Missouri Military Academy. Warrensburg's at Moberly. Aurora is at Monette. Both teams there looking for their first victory. South Shelby's at Monroe City. McDonald County's at Mount Vernon. Seneca is at Nevada, and another battle of unbeaten conference teams there in the Big 8. Greenfield is at New Heights Christian Academy. Joplin at Nixa. 2 more undefeated teams. Montgomery County is at North Callaway. DeSoto is at North County. North Platte is at Lathrop. St. Paul Lutheran is at North Shelby. Northland Christian is hosting Cornerstone, Kansas. Seckman is at Northwest Cedar Hill. Concordia is at Northwest Hughesville. Park Hill South at Oak Park. Mexico is at Odessa. St. Mary's Southside is at O'Fallon, Illinois. Holt is at Orchard Farm. Liberals at Osceola. Eldon is at Owensville. Macon is at Palmyra. Stately's at Park Hill. Lighthouse Christian is at Parkview. Parkway North is at Parkway Central. Webster Grove's at Parkway South. Marquette at Pattonville. Kip is at Pembroke Hill. West Platte is at Penny. St. Vincent is at Perryville. There are 2 undefeated teams there as well. El Dorado Springs is at Pleasant Hope. Gallatin is at Polo. Farmington at Poplar Bluff. Confluence Prep is at Portageville. Valley Catholic is at Potosi. Pattonsburg is at Princeton, 8-man football. Lutheran South at Priory. Clever looks to go 3-0 for the first time in their history, short history, as they go to Reed Spring. Archie is at Rich Hill in 8-man football. Marshall at Richmond. Fox at Rittenhour. Jeff City is at Rockbridge. Stewartsville at Rockport. Olathe North is at Rockhurst. Oakville is at Rockwood Summit. Kelly is at Rolla. Jennings is at Roosevelt. Central Kansas City is at Ruskin. Houston at Salem. Fayette at Salisbury. Pierce City at Sarcoxie. Plattsburgh at Schuyler County. Harrisburg at Scotland County. Hayti at Scott City. Craig Colcamp at Sherwood. DeSmet at Slough. Kearney at Smithville. DeKalb is at South Holt. Mound City is at South Nottoway. California is at Southern Boone. Wellington Napoleon is at Southwest Livingston County. I'm sorry, Wellington Napoleon, yes, Southwest Livingston. They just put that down there twice. Stratford is at Catholic. Francis Howell is at St. Charles West. Pacific at St. Clair. St. Dominic at St. Francis Borgia. Herman at St. James. King City at Stanberry. West Nottoway is at Tarkio. Miller Career with Vashon is at TWD Prep Academy. Putnam County at Trenton. Hannibal at Troy Buchanan. Van Horn at Truman. Sullivan at Union. Northeast Kansas City at University Academy Charter. Louisiana is at Van Far. Butler at Versailles. Liberty Wentzville at Warrenton. Lafayette County is at Warsaw. two more unbeaten teams there. Willard is in Waynesville, MICDS at Westminster Christian, Fulton at Western, Green Valley is at William Chrisman, Festus is at Windsor Imperial, Mark Twain at Winfield, and North Andrew is at Worth County in 8-man action. As I mentioned, the Rockwood Invitational is going on. It started at 4:30 today with pool play. Today on the schedule at at Marquette High School. It's Marquette versus Jackson, Howell Central versus Corey Zoo, and those matches are going on now. Nixa then will play Jackson at 5:30. Bolivar will play Corey Zoo also at 5:30 at Marquette. And then Marquette will take on Nixa at 6:30, and Howell Central will play Bolivar. And to that end, got to catch up with our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week from Bolivar High School, Megan Howard.
When you drive a Chevy, it's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. It's time for a Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athletes of the Week, presented by the Missouri State Highway Patrol. We go to Bolivar High School, which really is not too far from where I'm sitting right now. Bolivar head girls volleyball coach Kyle Smith and our Athlete of the Week, Megan Howard. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Coach, first off, let's talk a little bit about the season for the Lady Liberators. Tell us about how things are progressing, what's going on right now, and maybe some folks you had to replace due to graduation, who's maybe stepping in and filling some of those roles.
Yeah, every year you've got to fill shoes, right? And so over the summer we had some people step up and get and develop and grit stronger, and came out firing. Even by the end of the summer, we had some tough tournaments we went to, and we started off the season with the Branson tournament like we have the last few years, and that's always just such a great tournament, great competition of regional teams in our region, and ended up going against Fairgrove in the gold bracket, and state defending champs, and played real tough against them, and but we're starting our non-conference part of the season, and so we've seen some tough competition. Capital City out of Jefferson City, and then this weekend we go up to Rockwood Classic in St. Louis, and the girls are geared up, man. They've been fighting hard in practice and in games to get ready, so they're pretty stoked.
Team health-wise right now, everybody pretty healthy?
Yeah, everybody's we're blessed. Everybody's healthy, everybody's doing well, and excited for the weekend. Yeah.
And with regards to the new conference, the Ozark Mountain Conference, what challenges were in front of you there as far as scheduling? Were those teams you were already playing in the non-conference in the past?
Yeah, 3 of them came from our previous conference. So West Plains and Hillcrest. Marshfield, we've always played, and we've been in some districts with them. We're in district with them again this year. With Branson and Carl Junction, we don't play them as often unless maybe in a tournament. They're in our region. We just haven't had them on our schedule a lot, so we're not as familiar with them. And then Logan Rogersville, we were in district with them last year. We actually played them at the Rockwood Classic the first year it existed. We travel all the way to St. Louis to play somebody in our neighborhood. But that was a really fun match the first year of the Rockwood Classic to play them. We squeaked out a win. I think the second set was like 30-28 or something like that. And they had just come off their state championship run that year. So it's a great tournament. The conference is full of every night is going to be a tough fight. There's not a night where there won't be a very competitive volleyball match in that conference. I don't care who's playing. And so we're excited about that. A great group of coaches. We had the inaugural Ozark Mountain Conference meeting Wednesday night with athletic directors, head coaches of every program, and split off into the volleyball coaches meeting. And it's just a great camaraderie amongst those coaches. Just lot of volleyball knowledge for sure.
Again, visiting with Bolivar head girls volleyball coach Kyle Smith and our athlete of the week, Megan Howard. Coach Smith, just a little bit about your background. How long have you been at Bolivar? Where did you go to high school, college, and how did you arrive on the scene here as a Liberator?
Sure. We don't have all the time in the world for the long story of the path to get me here. But I've been in Bolivar since I started coaching in the fall of 19 as the 7th grade volleyball coach. And this one sitting right next to me was in 7th grade that year. And so so she's had to deal with me for a long time. So I started coaching club in the winter of 2018, 2019, when I first moved to town. Had come off of a college job here in the state. Spent some time out in California, Tennessee, Virginia. Been coaching club volleyball and high school ball in a lot of different places. So, but been here for a number of years, and this is my 4th season as the head varsity coach, and love it here in Bolivar, and love the girls, and my staff's great, and just to have had a blast here. Grew up in Jefferson City. Was a Jaybird, celebrated Pete Atkins' 100th birthday here recently. I didn't get the sweatshirt yet, but I guess my alumni will reach out to me. But so grew up in the state. Parents still live there. Went to SBU for college. When I left, moved out to Nashville, and anyway, long story short, I've been a little places and been a lot of places. So
very good. Well, you mentioned the young lady sitting beside you you've had since she was in the 7th grade. Tell us a little bit about her and what makes her special, and then some recent accomplishments that she reached.
Yeah, Megan's got fire. She's got a competitive fire, and is willing to do whatever it takes to get better and to make her teammates better. And I think her abilities have grown tremendously. I mean, it's been a pleasure to watch her grow over the years on the court and off the court, as a teammate, as a player, as an athlete. You can be a great volleyball player and you can be a great athlete, but if you can be both, that takes you to another level. And then she's been one of our team captains pretty much since her sophomore year, and has had some great seniors ahead of her to kind of build the culture that we wanted, and kind of lead the way. And then she's been able to take that torch and keep carrying that for future generations, and has a great set of captains around her as well. Great team and support around her. And so, but yeah, it's been great to watch that development. She came in freshman year not having set before, and over the summer, and with some help from some coaches in the area and some college players in the area, she went to work and learned the position, and has spent years continuing to learn that position. It's a very difficult position, and she stepped into it. So I thought it was ironic that one of her first achievements last year, milestone achievements that is, was getting 1,000 assists before she got her 1,000 digs last week, and sitting at 850 kills, or somewhere around there. It was interesting that was the first milestone achievement, was her setting. So it's been awesome to watch.
Well, Megan, first off, on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations on being named a Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week.
Oh, thank you.
Go back to that freshman year. Now you're a senior, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. If the senior Megan Howard could go back to that Megan Howard as a freshman or 8th grader and give her some advice based on what you know right now, what advice would you go back and give yourself?
I would definitely say to be confident. I think a lot of times you have this pressure because, I came in, I was playing varsity as a freshman, and my confidence level was very hidden in my little ball for a little bit. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And then I think just telling myself, stay confident and be yourself. Because I literally come out, and the sport really shows how you can go from here to here in a span of 4 years with the people you're around. And so I think just being confident.
So you've just reached 1,000 digs, as I understand, plus the 1,000 assists. Did you know those numbers were coming up? Were you aware of it?
So actually, last year I had no clue that I was getting close to 1,000 assists. Like that was such a surprise. They had like a ball for me, and then my teammates had posters that were like 1,000, and I was like, oh my gosh, because I literally had no clue, and I had gotten it the game before, and then the next game they announced it, so I didn't even know I got it the previous game. And my best friend was acting really weird. She's one of the captains on the team. And I was like, are you okay? And she was like, yeah, like I'm just excited. And I was like, okay. So I really had no clue. And then once I realized that I was getting close to those goals, I was like, I wonder how close I am to like my digs and kills. And so I realized that I was closer to my digs accomplishment more than my assists. So yeah.
Very good. What do you do? Let's say you're playing today, which you probably are playing today because you're about to get on a bus and head to Rockwood. What do you do throughout the day to kind of get mentally and physically prepared for a match that evening?
I would say eat a good breakfast, and also just like staying up with my schoolwork. I think when you get caught up in like all your life problems or like situations and you get on the court, it sometimes can be hard to transfer on the court to play your game. So I think staying balanced with school and your friends, just mentally, just so you can be prepared to play on the court rather than just taking what you have going on in your life onto the court. So I think, yeah.
And I've interviewed probably 6,000 Missouri high school athletes, and several of them have superstitions. Do you have to wear the same pair of socks? Do you have to listen to the same music? Do you have any superstitions?
Honestly, no. I would definitely say I do listen to music on the way there. But I don't know if that's a superstition. Wouldn't consider it a superstition, but you know.
Going back to your freshman year, you talked a little bit about the nerves, being nervous on the floor, maybe even a little bit prior to the game. Have you grown out of that now?
For sure. Yes. I don't think I was telling someone else this. I think it was a freshman, and they were explaining, they were like, Megan, do you get nervous? And I was like, I don't think I get nervous, but I get anxious to get out there and play. And I think those are two different things because I have played the sport for so long that I'm like, at this point, I'm just excited to get out there and play, especially since this is like my favorite team so far. And I just love playing with them. So I don't really get nervous. I get excited more than nervous.
So are you more nervous just right prior to a game or right now doing an interview?
Probably right now. Probably right now.
That's very, very good. Now being a senior, what plans, if any, do you have for next year?
So I'm narrowing it down to where I want to play college volleyball. I do want to become a nurse. And so it's been kind of a process deciding schooling with that because schooling is going to be really important to me, especially since that's going to be what I'm going to do when I'm older. And so right now I have about 4 schools that I'm narrowed down to. And I'm hoping by the end of the season I'll be finished and can say that I'm committed somewhere.
Well, outstanding. Well, Megan, once again, on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations on being named a Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week.
Thank you.
Coach Smith, what time do you guys get on the bus today to head to Rockwood?
About 11:30.
11:30. Well, safe travels, and we'll be paying attention. That's our tournament of the week. So we've done interviews with the athletic director at Lafayette Wildwood and the head coach at Lafayette Wildwood, and we'll be paying particular attention to this week's contest. So, Coach and Megan, good luck, and thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too. You're watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, presented by Lyona Labor's Local 663, who remind us to drive safely in work zones. Those folks want to go home to their families as well. Also presented by Central Bank of the Ozarks. Central Bank of the Ozarks with several locations here in the Ozarks to make your banking easier. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. And Megan, one more question. And I'm a mandated reporter for the Missouri State Highway Patrol. Do you always wear your seatbelt?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Congratulations and good luck this weekend. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
I'll have the avocado toast minus the avocado.
So, toast.
Yeah. Everything is so expensive these days. Hey, Chevy gets it. That's why they're keeping prices down to earth, like on the most affordable EV in America. A super strong and capable. I'll have the avocado toast minus the avocado.
So, toast.
Yeah. Everything is so expensive these days. Hey, Chevy gets it. That's why they're keeping prices down to earth, like on the most affordable EV in America. A super strong and capable Chevy truck. And a high-tech Chevy SUV. Why is Chevy making affordable vehicles connected by OnStar? It's so together we can do more.
We believe banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support for life. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Hey, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Feel free to chat with us right here. We are live here at the Missouri Sports Network. Go on to your YouTube page, or you can go to Facebook, or you can send us a note on Twitter. Make sure you sign up and follow us on Twitter at Scoreboard Guy and at Missouri_sports. Also, be sure to like us on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube. As I mentioned, had an opportunity to catch up with the Rockwood Summit Classic Invitational Volleyball, Girls Volleyball Invitational, and it began today at 4:30. And actually, Bolivar's getting ready to take the court right now as we speak here on Friday, as they will be taking on Jorge Zoo. Also, Nixa versus Jackson at 5:30, and Marquette versus Nixa at 6:30, and Howell Central versus Bolivar at 6:30. Over at Eureka High School at 4:30 was Eureka versus Jeff City, Kirkwood versus St. Pius X out of Festus, and St. Dominic versus Rockbridge. At 5:30, coming up here shortly, at 5:30 will be Odessa versus Jeff City, Blue Spring South versus St. Pius X out of Festus, Lee Summit North versus Rockbridge. And at 6:30, again, this is at Eureka High School. It'll be Eureka versus Odessa, Kirkwood versus Blue Spring South, and St. Dominic versus Lee Summit North. And at Lafayette High School, it'll be Lafayette at 4:30 was Lafayette versus Lutheran St. Charles, Howell Central versus Oakville, and Incarnate Word versus Rockwood Summit. Going on now, or getting ready to start, is Republic versus Lutheran St. Charles, Blue Spring South versus Oakville, and Kickapoo versus Rockwood Summit. And at 6:30, it will be Lafayette versus Republic, Francis Howell versus Blue Springs, and Incarnate Word versus Kickapoo. As I mentioned, had an opportunity to catch up with the athletic director and the head coach there at Lafayette Wildwood. And we're going to play that interview right now. First off, well, that is apparently not uploaded yet. Good heavens. Well, let's see if it's downloaded on our back page, and I do apologize for that because that was uploaded. So let's try her again, see if we can go back into that and see if we can find it. And it is not there. Well, I do apologize. Let me see if I can play it from a different screen with Lafayette Athletic Director.
And it's the Rockwood Classic. Tell us just about the teams that are within your district. As you look at Rockwood, it's a huge school district, but much like Springfield, you've got several schools within that district.
Yeah, we have 4 schools within the Rockwood School District: Lafayette, Marquette, Eureka, and Rockwood Summit. All 4 are participating, and we'll have 3 different sites for Friday and Saturday. We'll be playing at Marquette, Eureka, and Lafayette Friday. The first matches are set to begin at 4:30, and the last ones, I believe, are set around 6:30 p.m. that night. And then everybody will kick off Saturday morning at the same 3 sites.
And maybe one of the toughest tournaments as far as the teams that are in it. You've got all 4 of the Class 4 and 5 Final Four teams from a year ago are in this tournament. Tell us about, the logistics of going out and reaching out to teams from not only this state, but you got an out-of-state team coming in as well. But tell us about that and getting all those teams on campus.
Yeah. Our coaches did a really good job of, recruiting teams to come and, asked me to reach out to schools as well. And we just worked collaboratively to kind of get as many teams here as we could. And it's grown, and it's a pretty tough tournament. Looking forward to having those teams on campus and seeing the competition level.
And the logistics, you're playing at 3 different locations, but they have several gymnasiums that you're utilizing at the same time. So you're able to get a lot of matches in a very short period of time.
Yeah, each campus has 2 gyms, which can have up to 2 courts in each gym. So we're able to kind of get a lot of volleyball in one weekend.
So it kicks off Friday afternoon at 4:30 at all three locations. Tell us about the pools. I've noticed that you're not going to put your 4 schools in the same pool or something like that. You're trying to kind of mix it up. Talk about the scheduling and how you came up with what teams went into what pools.
Yeah, it was basically worked to try and get teams from across this area and the state to match up that don't see each other during the season. So logistically, we looked at schedules, competition level, what makes sense for each program, and tried to create pools that were beneficial for all schools to have great, comparable competition level, see teams they don't see during the season. And that was kind of the format used to assign that aspect.
Again, visiting with Lafayette Wildwood Activities Director Jonathan Sumner. And what is your role going to be once this gets kicked off, are you keeping score? Are you making sure you got gate people keeping score themselves? What is your role going to be? Because I know, as being a former athletics administrator, when these tournaments get started, you got so many different hats you put on. I mean, I was running the hospitality room, for most of the time, but I like to eat, so that wasn't too bad. But what's your role going to be once it gets started?
Well, the upfront part has been the biggest part of mine, is helping our coaches and connecting and making schedule and information and sharing with the community and other communities and sharing information about the tournament, spectator information, etc. I'm helping set up the gate at our location. Fellow ADs at Marquette, Adam Starling, and Scott Allen at Eureka are kind of maintaining their sites as well, and they're doing all the logistical work on their campuses. But once it gets rolling, I know I'm very fortunate. We have a very strong community support, in our families that are helping with hospitality, concessions, etc. Our office is taking care of the gate and setup and all that kind of stuff. I'll be here all day to help with anything our community coaches, people on site need, and to make this tournament as positive and beneficial as it can be for everybody.
It kicks off Friday at 4:30. What time do the gates open at the individual locations?
So that's an important note. We get out of school pretty late on all of our campuses, so you shouldn't show up till 3:45, because our parking lots will be exiting campus from 3:17 to probably like 3:35, and if you try and come in during that window, you're going to hit a lot of traffic. So matches start at 4:30. We ask that people please don't arrive on any of our campuses until 3:45 or later. It'll be easy to park if you do that. If you come earlier than that, you're going to hit our school traffic, and you can't get into campus anyway, because we don't let people in until our school is dismissed. We're hosting Friday night football game as well, so we ask that people come in on our west side of our campus, closest to 109. We're going to have an entrance exit set up there, and then our football games on the other side of campus. And I communicated those details with our fellow administrators and coaches of other teams that are playing here. So if everybody is aware of that should be pretty simple, and we should have a great night of volleyball.
And then Saturday morning kicks off at 8:30. Same situation, 7:45, maybe get there, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, Saturday is not as much of a big deal. We'll probably open gates around 7:30, 7:45. There'll be plenty of parking on all of our campuses. We have big parking lots, and it won't be an issue, as most of us don't have much else going on besides volleyball.
Again, visiting with Lafayette Wildwood Activities Director Jonathan Sumner. Jonathan, tell us a little bit about your background. How long have you been there at Lafayette Wildwood? Where'd you go to high school, college, and how'd you end up at Lafayette?
Yeah, I graduated from Eureka High School down the road and within the Rockwood School District. I attended Lindenwood University and got my undergrad in history and secondary education certification. Continued my education through master's degree and education specialist degree through various colleges. This is my 15th year at Lafayette High School. I actually student taught here as well, so I've never been in any other place. I have 7 years. This is year 7 in his role as activities director. Prior to that, I was a history teacher. I was the head wrestling coach, assistant football coach, and I ran our summer strength and conditioning program. Lancer Power Camp started that, and it's grown to have over 400 kids in it now. And I have a sophomore in high school here at Lafayette. My kids go to schools that all feed to Lafayette, and I live like probably 3/4 of a mile from here. So it's my home.
Well, outstanding. I've got a kind of a connection there. My godfather, I believe, is in the Hall of Fame there at Lafayette, Bob Swift, and spent a lot of summers up there at Coach Swift's house and running around there off of 100. But Jonathan, again, I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time. I know it's an extremely busy week for you guys, and just to be able to get the information out and share it with us, and us be able to share it with the entire state of Missouri, I really do appreciate, and I'm looking forward to a tremendous tournament.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, and we look forward to a great tournament as well.
You bet. You're watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol will remind us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. Be right back.
And welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network. Guy Newcomb alongside. Certainly appreciate everyone who has tuned in today. Looking forward to volleyball action as well as the football action tonight. As I mentioned, the Rockwood Invitational, Rockwood Classic Girls Volleyball Tournament is our tournament of the week, and we'll be tracking that throughout the weekend, and we'll try and get on the tournament winners here next week. Last week was the Barstow Soccer Tournament. I believe it was the 35th year of that. This is only the second year of this tournament here at Lafayette. Lafayette Wildwood is the defending Class 5 state champions in volleyball. They've had 8 state championships, I believe, since 2011, and we were able to catch up with. Lafayette head volleyball coach, and here's that interview that we'll play for you now.
Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Glad you're here on the Missouri Sports Network. My name is Guy Newcomb, the scoreboard guy alongside, and our tournament of the week featured by Playing on Sports and the Missouri Sports Network this week is the Rockwood Classic up in St. Louis, Missouri. And we welcome in the head coach of the Lafayette Wildwood volleyball team, Zach Young. Coach Young, thanks for your time this morning.
Yeah, guys, thanks for having me on.
Coach, first off, defending Class 5 state champions, 36-2 a year ago. Tell us a little bit about your team coming into this year and what you lost to graduation that you've had to replace, and who are maybe some of the ladies stepping into those roles.
Yeah, we lost a lot to graduation last year. We lost 6 seniors that all really contributed a lot, either on the court or in leadership roles. We got 8 seniors this year. We had 9 kids returning that were on the varsity team. We had a couple kids that saw a lot of court time, but there's a lot of kids kind of finding new roles this year.
Just come off of a defeat of Eureka last night. Tell us a little bit about that contest.
Yeah, it was a great match. Eureka, in-town rival and district rival, always a well-coached, gritty team. So it was a good match. The first 2 games, I think we handled them pretty well, and then they really started to come alive defensively, especially. 2 really good sets toward the end, but we pulled it out in 4.
Winning 8 state titles, 8 of the last 13, I believe, state titles. What's it like to try and do scheduling that, with all the success that you've had?
Yeah, I think each year we look at it being a brand new year, and we try not to look backwards a whole lot. We try to continue to look forward and see what our team needs each year as far as scheduling. And we try and put, some of the toughest teams we can up against us to see what we need to work on and expose our weaknesses. And, I think we've got a really tough schedule this year. Obviously, this coming weekend with the Rockwood Classic is going to have some of the best teams in the state coming in, and we're excited about the competition.
Kind of talk about how this Rockwood Classic came about. How many years is this, and what was your role in trying to get teams into the tournament?
Well, I think we had the idea actually before COVID started, and then COVID kind of put a pause on everything. We're a pretty central location, and to try and get teams from not only Missouri but around the Midwest to want to come to our tournament. And it's turned into a really good Missouri tournament. And then we also have, St. James Academy out of Kansas, which has won, I don't know how many state championships, a bunch of them over there, but they're coming in as well. We started off saying, could we do this at one school? And then the more we talked with some of the Rockwood coaches around, Eureka, Marquette really jumped in, and so we're running at 3 different high schools, and so we're able to put a schedule together that we kind of promise teams from around the state you can come in and you will not play another team from your area. So if you're a Kansas City team, you're not going to have Lee Summit West coming in and playing St. Michael the Archangels. So it's kind of all predetermined scheduling, and it's by pool. So it's round robin, but you won't play every team in your pool to make sure that you're playing different teams around the state. And I think that's what's very attractive to teams coming in.
And you guys obviously hosting at one of the locations there. You've got Lutheran St. Charles and Republic in your match on Friday beginning at 4:30. What do you know about those 2 programs or those 2 teams coming in?
Yeah, Lutheran St. Charles is always a gritty team. I know that I don't know if they're class 3, class 4, but I know they've got a really good setter. I forget where she's going, but she's really good. We've seen her for years, so we know that they're gonna be good. I think they pushed Howell the other day to 4 sets, and it looked like it was a great match. I know they took Westminster to 5. Westminster's got a good team this year, and Republic, always a nice team out of Springfield, and we actually haven't played them for quite a few years, so we're excited about that matchup as well.
And Coach, we do a lot of sports around the state, with football, basketball, soccer, obviously, and they talk a lot about the preparation and film and how do you get information? Are these things available on Huddle for you to do scouting, so to speak, where you don't have to drive to Republic to watch them play or exchange film? How do you prepare?
Yeah, well, sometimes it's on the fly this time of year because it's hard to, teams are still figuring things out, and there's a lot of teams kind of, moving kids around, us as well, seeing what works. But yeah, Huddle, I know several coaches trade film on Huddle and try and get looks at teams, but really this time of year, I think most teams are kind of worried about their side of the net and kind of what's going on there.
And again, we're visiting with Lafayette Wildwood head volleyball coach Zach Young. Coach Young, tell us a little bit about your background. How long have you been at Lafayette? Where did you go to high school, college, and how'd you end up at Lafayette?
Oh, gosh. I usually don't talk about me a whole lot, but I grew up in Montgomery County, a small farm town, right there on 70 on the way to between Columbia and St. Louis. So I'm a proud Wildcat. And then my mom's the head coach of school. I picked up and I played at William Woods for a couple of years and finished out my career at Lindenwood. And then from there, grabbed a job at Wright City and actually not have started it from scratch and coached a couple of years at Wentzville, and then was lucky enough to get on as an assistant coach at Lafayette with Coach Steve Burkhardt. I was his JV coach for a couple of years and retired. They let me take a crack at it, and I guess I've been doing that for, I think this is year number 13 as the head coach.
Well, outstanding. Well, Coach, I know it's an extremely busy time, a busy week for you, and I greatly appreciate you taking a few minutes out here to kind of fill us in on your team. Coming up here later, we'll be visiting with your athletic director to talk more about the tournament as a whole. But congratulations on the great start, and hopefully we'll get to visit with you down the road.
Sounds great. Thanks for the coverage. Really appreciate it.
You bet. Lafayette Wildwood head coach Zach Young here on the Missouri Sports Network. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. And my apologies. That was a little background there. We got a little free radio out of Kansas City. But, hey, we'll be back here on the Missouri Sports Network, where everyone has a home field advantage. Talk to you soon.
I'll have the avocado toast, minus the avocado.
So, toast.
Yeah. Everything is so expensive these days. Hey, Chevy gets it. That's why they're keeping prices down to earth, like on the most affordable EV in America. a super strong and capable Chevy truck, and a high-tech Chevy SUV. Why is Chevy making affordable vehicles connected by OnStar? It's so together we can do more.
We believe banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support for life. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Hey, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Where are you headed tonight? What game are you particularly looking forward to attending here? It's gotten a lot cooler this week. It's a little overcast, but I think everyone should be dry most of the night, or most people will be dry most of the night. Lots of great games going on. And, hey, remember, tune in on Friday nights for Friday Night Live from 9:30 to 11. We'll interview coaches from around the state. We'll get all the scores from around the state as well. And, hey, do us a favor. You don't have to tell two friends. You got to tell one friend. Tell one friend to tune in to the Missouri Sports Network. And we're doing something almost every day in the morning. Got On Deck, comes out on Monday mornings. We've got the morning updates. We've got Where Are They Now Wednesdays. We've got Huddle Up on Thursday mornings. We missed this week because we had just some personal things going on that we couldn't get everybody together. But we make an effort there to have something out every Thursday morning. And, of course, Fridays, you got High School Game Day at 5 and Friday Night Live from 9:30 to 11. We replay Friday Night Live with all the scores and the coaches' interviews on Saturday morning. We will also start replaying High School Game Day on Saturdays as well. And coming soon, they start doing a little college stuff on Saturday nights. That's up to you. Hey, sign up and follow us on Twitter at Scoreboard Guy or at Missouri_sports. Like us on Facebook at Missouri Sports Network and subscribe to us on YouTube. Hey, everybody be safe out there. It's Friday night live coming up at 9:30. Everybody tune in, and we will talk to you then. Hey, drive safe. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart,